My name's Trinity Faegen. Jean from BookNerds asked me to do a blog for her website, so here I am. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about me and my books. This is my office where I write always, and also do tax returns here because in my other life I'm a CPA. The Mephisto Covenant series, the first book came out last September 2011, and it is about 7 brothers. Each book is about a different brother. The first book is about Jax, who is not the oldest, but he was the one that needed to find his true love first, so he's who the first book is about. So the 7 brothers were born many, many years ago. Their father is Mephistopheles, who's the dark angel of death. He's who takes people to hell after they die, if that's where they're supposed to go. And he met a woman, a human, 1,000 years ago, and he fell in love with her. And he hid her away because he wasn't supposed to have any relationships with humans. He hid her away, and she gave him 7 sons. But when each son turned 18, he became immortal. And he's tied to earth forever. He can never die, and when the end of the world comes, he's doomed to go to hell, all of the brothers, because of who their father is. Now, their mother died when the oldest turned 18. And when she died, that's how God knew that they existed, that the other brothers existed. And the older brother, when he died and became immortal, he lost his soul. He is completely dark. He has no light in his soul at all. But yet, he's also still human. So he still wants to fit in. He still wants to be somebody. So his goal in life is to take over hell. I think I hear something. It's either my daughter or a serial killer. So if I die, then you'll see it happen right here. Anyway, so when the oldest brother became immortal, he decided he was going to take over hell from Lucifer and get rid of free will. The younger brothers, because God was aware that they existed, were able to keep some of the light in their souls. So they're still sons of hell, which equals they're kind of bad guys, and they have a hard time with human emotions. They don't feel joy the same way that we do. But God made them a promise that if they would go after their brother and keep him from taking over hell, which is what he wants to do, then they would have the promise of peace in their soul and a happier life and heaven at the end of life, at the end of the world, if they can find someone to love them. So that's the premise of each book. The brother will find someone, can they love him even though he's a son of hell. And in the first book is Jax and Sasha, and that was such a fun book to write. It will always hold a special place in my heart. But anyway, that one came out last September. It was also published in Bulgaria. This is crazy. Look at the writing. I'm very big in Bulgaria. Not really. I don't know. A woman called and said, would I do a radio spot for her in Bulgaria? And I said, sure I will. So she called at 8 in the morning here, and it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Bulgaria. And she asked me a lot of questions, and one of them was about, I guess she'd read my biography on my website about that I have a mean cat. And she said, tell me about your mean cat. So I'm telling her about the mean cat, and in the meantime she's asking me another question. And there's this delay. When you're talking to someone overseas, there's a delay in the phone conversation, so that was extremely awkward. It was the most long 5 minutes of my life. I was so glad when it was over. And I'm sure Bulgarian people were listening to it on the radio and saying, who is this incredibly moronic woman? But anyway, then in August, they came out with a paperback version of the Mephisto Covenant, which I love this cover. I just have always loved this cover. I just think it's beautiful. And then in this September of 2012, the second book in the series came out, The Mephisto Kiss. And this one is about Kiros, who goes by Key. And he's the leader of the Mephisto. He's the oldest after Eric's. And he was best friends with Eric's, and so all through this book, a big issue, and a lot of his conflict is because of his relationship that he had with his oldest brother, who became his mortal enemy when Eric's turned 18 and Kiros was only 16. So he's lived with that for 1,000 years, that the person who's closest to him became his worst enemy. The main female character in this is Jordan, and Jordan is the first daughter. She's the daughter of the president. So clearly there were huge issues for her because she would have to leave her life behind to go and be with the Mephisto, to be with Key, and all the girls become Mephisto, so they can do what the brothers do, which is to take down all the lost souls that Eric's has managed to accumulate. And the more lost souls he accumulates, the more people that agree to give him their soul, the more powerful he becomes. So over a long, long period of time, he's accumulated a lot of souls. And Mephisto are the only people who can take out these lost souls and keep them from being with Eric's. So that's about it. I appreciate you being here. This is my 6th time to try this vlog because I suck at it so bad. And I have a program on this computer that will edit if I could ever just figure out how to do it. It's so complicated, I think it'll make fries. And anyway, I appreciate very much you listening to my first vlog. Don't throw tomatoes. And thank you, Jean, for having me on BookNerds. It's just really been great, and I really appreciate it. And please don't make fun of my accent. I realize it's truly awful. But hey, it's where I live. I'm in West Texas. What can I say? Anyway, take care. Thanks so much.